Aye, all. Just been looking back on the the last part of that video, some of it, and me mocking the situation, and even thinking back to quite some time ago, thinking, oh, these guys they're not able to do nothing up here. What's the point in them going up here and kind of making a fool of them? Well, it's like they've made a fool of me. I should have realised the vulnerability of that unit. Should have considered the whole assault coordination. It was going to happen. I've been lucky with the card draws, and there. It wasn't so much I was unlucky. I was either going to get it from the draw or from the support card. So, so bad situation because they're going to get the OKW units now after all that hard work to try and stop that from happening. Right at their second last impulse of the day, and there's nothing I can do about it because I need to remove the units. Yes, I could attack them, but there's 7 strength, 4 steps, and there. I could activate 7 core, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12. No, that'd be half coming across the river as well. So, I'd probably at best only have 1-to-1 odds. I've not got any other cards, so there'll be no combat tactics. So that's a silly. I've just got to give up and accept that they're getting OKW units, which is really annoying because that had been my plan from the beginning. And the other annoying part is that with them doing it at the very end of the day, although I'm saying that, it is. With them suddenly reaching a hex adjacent to the Muse, I can now start moving these British units, but I've got 1 card left in my hand, 7 core. So I'm not even going to benefit from that. Whereas, I was talking about maybe I should be considering letting them get to the Muse so that I can then move the units. So, yeah, it's a poor end to the day. Again, I've had a couple of times like this, but it does just show you can't just stroll along and think you've got everything covered. Because it could get worse up there. I've now got to go and try and find a way of getting something up towards Liège, and I can't get units into Liège on my next impulse. So at least I don't think I can. 1, 2. No, I can't. It's too far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would be 1. Nah, but he's breaking zone of control as well. I was just thinking, I'm looking at that cavalry unit. He's breaking zone of control, so it's like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He could get up to there. So what I'm probably going to do is, like I think I maybe mentioned already, is strategically move probably both these infantry units up. I won't be allowed to drop them into Liège because they'll be adjacent to an allied unit, but I could have them just outside. Then I need to draw my next hand, get an air power, make sure the Germans don't go first, and then move the units. Or if I don't get the right card, it would be an any one unit move by moving one of the units into Liège, I think. Yes, not great. Okay. But I think the main part was that I was thinking that it was a lost cause for them up there. For quite some time now I've thought it's kind of pointless, but it's not been. They've just chipped away, and I think the main thing was getting that unit across the river to start with, and I should have looked at that more carefully. I should have taken more care, supported that 1-step unit as well. Okay, so we've still got half of the impulse to go. I know I kind of split that part in 2, but it was getting long. It's over an hour, the part. I'm just sort of putting it together just now. So I don't like doing that, but I'm sure it's fine. So let's have a look at this probable last impulse for them. Although, like I said, they've got 1 card in their deck still. Okay, so it is sorry, 50, 53rd core. Yeah, couldn't work it out there. So yeah, going to activate all units in the core. So we've got these two mechanised infantry units and the other mechanised infantry unit along here outside the Elbrook. I think that's all there is, isn't there? The 3 units. No units in the reserves for them. So no roadblocks, and their army objective marker needs to be reached. So let's see what's going to happen down beside this armoured unit. I think this is the main concern here, because if they do something here, this could cut our supply for, certainly for the infantry units. So okay, let's have a look. Okay, yeah, I've just come down to movement method 4, open supply line, because with all this carry on, these 2 units can't trace supply. I've had a wee look. I was thinking they come up over this bridge, but this is still an Allied controlled bridge. Unless I've missed something there. I don't think so. I think that's been like that for some time. And, well, to be honest, that's an Allied controlled bridge as well. They're all Allied controlled bridges. Seems a bit odd that they are. I'm just wondering if I've... But then there's no detachments being placed through there. Let's hope I've not missed bridge placement. Sure, these guys would have picked up on that. I mean, if that is the case, these units cannot trace supply because they can't get around Bastogne. They can't get 1, 2, 3, 4. This is as far as you can get up. They can't come along this way. They need to kind of reach down here. So this unit, well, he's from the 80 Corps, he's alright. But both these units I don't think can trace supply. So open supply line might come into this, because move active German units east of hex that if occupied by the unit would enable a German unit currently unable to trace supply to be able to do so. So, I mean, to me that means they could move themselves back into supply as well. I mean, I think the idea of that movement is to help other units, but move active German units east of hex if occupied by the unit would enable a German unit currently unable to trace supply to be able to do so by negating an Allied zone of control in the hex. If the active unit can reach more than one such hex, move to the hex, it would enable the most German units to trace supply. So yeah, I mean, the way it's worded, it is meaning that it's like going to help another unit out by bringing it back into supply. But I don't see... There's no mention of it. Move active German unit east of hex of occupied unit would enable a German unit currently unable to trace supply to be able to do so. It's just the fact in brackets it's got by negating an Allied zone of control in the hex. You know, it just makes me think that this unit could move somewhere even just up to here to then be able to go 1, 2, well, actually here we do 1, 2, 3, 4. He's onto that road and can trace supply. I've never come across this one before. I've never been as deep, well, maybe I have. We're only on the 22nd, so I might have come across it before. Certainly within this game, this is the first time we're starting to see supply issues for the Germans. Well, we noticed with the 47 Corps up there, they're in a bit of trouble too. But yeah, I think that would be allowed. The way it's read, Okay, so this move would be going in descending order. So Unit 22 along here, well, he's not able to do that move. He's also adjacent to Ettlebrook, which has got 4 strength, VP Hex. So he's not going to move away from that Hex. He's got to keep that restriction around the Hex. So Unit 2 would be the first one to consider, but he can't, he's not got the movement because he's in zone of control. It's 1, 2 to move away there, and then it's another 3 to move into this woods Hex, and from there he's still 2, 3. Oh, he can just as well. Look that way. I was looking this way and then I was looking down this way, but I think there's a gap through the middle here. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if he moves into there, he can trace 1, 2, 3, 4 onto this road here, down and up and away. Ah, okay. That's cool. So I hope I'm doing this right. I mean, the reading of the rule looks like it's possibly built to enable this and to help other units out, because it is enabling another unit to be able to trace supply from where it can. I think just the way it's worded makes me think it's more about helping a unit out that's kind of, you know, it's kind of surrounded and can't trace supply, but a German unit moving adjacent, you know, cancelling out a zone of control from an allied unit. But the way it's read, I think that works too. So 1, 2 breaking zone of control, 3, 4, 5 into there. Now, does he still leave a detachment even though it's adjacent to an allied unit? I think so. I don't think there's a problem with that, is there? Yeah, it specifically states that it can be placed even adjacent to an allied unit. So I know this is kind of strange movement by them, but it makes sense as well, because they are going to, I mean, it's what I would be want to do, it's what I've been trying to do here, is get my infantry units back in supply before we get to the supply phase. So, you know, or these units would be going in low supply as well. So, right. So unit number 1 is going to do the same. He's maybe got, yes, he could clearly just move into this same Hex, but he's got a bit more movement. He could go, so I think he's wanting to stay as close to his army objective, doesn't he? Well, it does say if the active unit can reach more than one such Hex, move to the Hex that would enable the most German units to trace supply. Well, that's not really an issue, is it? No, because now this one can trace supply. This guy's okay down here, isn't he? Yeah, 1, 2. Where is he? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you can get to this road, and that's fine. So yeah, so he's just considering himself getting back in supply. So his options are this Hex, but initially looked further. I think, could he get to there? 1, 2, 3, 4. You could get to there and go 1, 2, 3. Yeah, well, in actual fact, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, you can't come into this Hex. You could go there or there, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, all the hexes are options, I think. In actual fact, this forest Hex is an option too, because you can go 1, 2, 3, 4. So I guess it comes down to tiebreaker. So nearest to army objective, and then furthest in compass direction. So yeah, so all the hexes, well, this one's 7 hexes away, so all the hexes are 6 away, and this would be the westernmost of the 3. man. Oh no. Right, it's clicked. That's now going to mess my supply up, isn't it? Oh, you rotten thing. Now can I go through any detachments? No, not that I can see. I can't go through that one. Yeah, so yeah, out of the 3 hexes, we're all the same distance away, so then it comes down to the compass direction, and that's the westernmost of the 3. I would rather it was this hex, because now, right, so he can trace supplies though. 1, 2, 3, just needs to get onto this road, and yeah, he's away. And this guy, I said, can come through here to trace. And now, the towns, I think any of the towns that we had that we're worried about are probably ally supplies not traceable to them. But more importantly, I won't be able to trace supply to these. Oh, not only the infantry. Oh, he's shutting everything off. Oh no. He's completely shutting Bastogne off, isn't he? Because our out of the armoured unit was 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I can't do that. Unless I can get a unit here, but I've only got 7 core card left. Oh, this is a terrible finish to the day. I kind of hope I've got something wrong here, but I don't think I have. They guys are able to get themselves back in supply with that movement. And movement method 4, open supply line, is doing just that. And it makes sense. Because, in particular, right at the end of the day, because I would want to make sure these guys were in supply if I could. Right. Okay, well, I'll look back over it before I put it to bed, I guess. Here was me concerned about them attacking that armoured unit as well. Well, they might have another impulse to come now, because there might not be an attack. Right, and finally there's this reduced mechanised infantry unit, like I say, adjacent to Elbrook. But he's adjacent to Elbrook, he's restricted from moving away from that. Unless he was to get to another adjacent hex, but yeah, he's not going to do that, he's going to stay put. The attack determination would be, well actually it is going to be 1-to-1, isn't it? Because he's 4 strength with no extras, well, apart from the -1, so he's actually 3. So it is a 3 against 3, 1-to-1. There's no support card. It's not an elite unit. Nah, there's no modifiers. I don't think this can happen, can it? I think we've done something like this before, because he's attacking from 1 hex as well. I don't think. Well, I'll roll dice. So 1-to-1 odds with no modifiers, I don't believe. Yeah, it's 3 against 4, reduced to 3 because he's in low supply. Yeah, no modifiers. That's a 9, so not going to happen. What was? Yeah, it couldn't have been a 0. 9's cancelled less than 3-1. It couldn't have been a 0 because we had no modifiers. So the best we could have got was a 1. Was cancel if only defender elite or only defender armour. That would have done it, yeah. Because he's armoured, we're not now. I think this was the unit that was armoured but flips into mechanised infantry. Okay, so that's that. He doesn't do nothing. Well, he's actually going to build an IP. He's in a hex that can do it. And that's another nasty German activation, which is spoiling December the 22nd. Okay, well, I might as well look at this next card. Oh no, we're gonna have an impulse first, aren't we? Right, so I'll pause there just in case I need to cut it, guys. Okay, and I'll be back soon. Okay, cheers. Hi all. Right, things are a big mess at the end of the day. I mean, not only the problems up at Liège, but also now down at Bastogne. No supply trays for the units, I don't believe. So, and I've only got one card in my hand, and at 7 core, I've already had my 1 unit move early on in the day. So there's nothing I can do to help the guys get back in supply, but in saying that, I do need to try and do something up at Liège, so I will be able to set up something at least. Okay, so yeah, I play 7 core. We lost a unit, so there's 1 less. So there's only 2 of the 3rd armour units left now. This one's reduced. Surrounded as well. This is why there was a thought about maybe trying to make some attack, but I think now I'm going to have to do what I said and move these infantry units north to place them in a position where I can move something into Liège. Now, these can't destroy into Liège like we said, and then I was concerning myself, well, what about the infiltration move? Well, that needs to be closer to their army objective. Their army objective's there, so they wouldn't even try and infiltrate into there. So, okay, I mean, is there a danger here? I mean, they can't even move from that hex to that hex. This is a strong hex, so I'm not so okay, I said everything was fine up there earlier on, and look what's happened, but I don't fear them taking that hex out. That's the 8 strength in there, and it gets doubled because it is a city hex. Oh, I almost forgot about this guy. Remember, we moved this guy along foolishly. Well, I say me. I moved them all foolishly. I'm not blaming you guys. Now they go, what is it? Triple their movement. So hang on a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You know what? That would do actually, because then he's within 3 of Liège. I mean, the best I can get with these units is just outside Liège. Like I say, I don't feel there's no any worry of a unit getting in there, so then I couldn't move from there to there, so that's okay. And I certainly don't need this guy back there, so I'm starting to think about doing something here, or at least getting this guy in supply, this 3rd armoured unit that moved into town and then he got surrounded. But if I can get a unit in here or here, it'll enable me to trace supply, so I should really be trying to do that. Okay. Just having a look at this possible attack here again. If I did move that unit up there, then he's poised to be able to go and do what I had intended to do. This is a bracket unit as well, which doesn't help chip pool wise. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Assuming I move these units into here in a bit. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's all coming across the river. So it's going to be 5. This unit is a 5 strength. Elite armoured unit, I think. So it'd be 1-to-1 odds, and I would only be getting 3 chip pools. And then And the plus is that he's out of fuel and we get to ignore one hit. The other plus is he can retreat. So if I did get a hit on him, we'd have to take that, which is, that's quite interesting. If defender attacking made disregard one attacker hit. But there's no extra chip pools to it. We would have armour. Let me just double check. I think he is elite, isn't he? Yeah, first SS. Oh, and he's got an IP. I was forgetting about the IP as well. This just doesn't seem like it's worth it, does it? Just a look across in the what we're getting as reserves tomorrow. They get the 9th Panzer Army for the 47th Corps, which is great. Not. The rest is all ours, mind you. We get the 75th Infantry Division from 18 Corps, which will be up this northern area. And we also get 2nd Armour from the 7th Corps, which are elite armoured units. So that's certainly going to help. Right. Do I feel like that? Right. I'm gonna strategically move this unit. 1, 2, 3, and then it gets tripled. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and there. So now he can reach wage. Now I'm happy enough with just that one unit in there. The fact that more 47th Corps units are coming in, and maybe I should just make do with that. But then again, look what's happened up here, and I've ignored it and thought it was okay. Right, I'm going to move this infantry unit into here, so this guy will be able to trace supply. And I'm just not 100% sure about what to do about this one. I was tempted to send it up. I mean, it's bracketed. Or, okay, I thought I'd let the ambulance get by this time. I heard that it was blaring away. I'm right on the main street here, so. I don't know. I think I actually want to take the chance and just leave that guy to go up and put him in here as well. Because, I mean, we do have to start getting a bit more aggressive. That was such a bad loss, losing that 3rd Armoured unit as well. Especially when we're getting more 7 Corps units coming in. That was probably our strongest force, wasn't it? Well, maybe apart from the British. And of course, I'm forgetting about the whole OKW situation. At least that lets us move the British, though. Which you really want that before the 26th, don't you? The 26th is what? We're on 27, 4 days away. Well, 3 days away. Yeah. No, I've changed my mind. I think I want that unit, or do I? Oh, I can't decide. Right, wait now, put them back there just now. Let me. Can't make my mind up here. I started thinking, obviously, these units, when they activate again, moving adjacent to the Muse is one of the priority special moves. On saying that, yeah, this came up in a question. I think I asked this question before. It says, if no German unit in the game has entered a hex bordered by the Muse River, move one active unit to such a hex. And the the thing I found a little bit odd with that, I'm sure I maybe should look up the question I asked, was, that just says, like, we've satisfied that movement method now. Is that movement method now scrapped for the rest of the game? But what if you moved the unit adjacent to the muse, right, early on in the day, and that then said, right, we don't ever look at that movement method again, and then we managed to eliminate that unit before the reserve phase of the next again day, then the OKW units wouldn't get released. So, and then they wouldn't try and make that movement method again, which seems a little bit odd. Yeah, okay, I found the question I had posted in it. I had a question about 3 movement methods. But the first one is movement method 1B. If no German unit in the game has entered the hex bordered by the Meuse River, is this a one-time effect that would then make this movement rule unusable when the first unit borders, even if only briefly, the Meuse? And the has entered part suggests that is. Yeah, that's what I said. It says has entered. Which Martin replies, well, I'm pretty sure the special movement method is there to let Germans release their OKW reserve. So once they've reached or crossed the Meuse, that movement method is no longer useful. I get that. But then my reply was that my situation brought the question up was that a German unit made it to a hex bordering the Meuse, but then on my turn I was able to eliminate it. And then, so scouting the rules, the only relevant sections I can find are the German OKW reserves. The unit is in a hex adjacent to or across from the Meuse River at the time. So if that unit's eliminated, that's not going to happen. And then regarding the British Corps, the moment a German unit enters a hex adjacent to the Meuse River, that releases them and enables them to move. It looks like it's written as a one-time effect. Martin's reply after that was that, in the end they felt like it does need some clarification. He speaks about some, well, I'm not going to read it all, but to be honest, we're not in that position, so why do I need to bother about it? I guess it came up because we're not going to eliminate that unit. So it does mean that movement method 1B is not going to be in the game anymore. We're going to skip by that. So they're not going to try and move adjacent to the Meuse. They are, however, mind you, that's not going to be closer to their army objective, is it? It is possible one of these units is going to come into here though. But then what are we going to have at most? 4, 7, 9 or 10, and it's going to be half crossing the river, and it's going to be attacking into a city. So if it was just this unit, it's more likely going to be 5 strength against 6 strength, something like that. So they're going to need more, and again, this whole space issue about getting the units round. Although I did say it was a tough nut for them to crack, but they've got this far. Right. God, what a time you're taking, Grant. Okay, I don't think I should take chances, and this is just a 2 strength bracketed unit, so I'm actually going to send him up there as well. Now, is there any point in me strategically moving him up to here? Would there be any point in that? Don't think so. Just maybe should keep them together with this unit. Oh, you know what? I'll do it anyway. So 1, 2, 3, and then he can strategically move another 2, but he can't strategically move into there because he'll be adjacent to a German unit. This guy alone is going to come into here. And then I'm going to get these second armour units the next again day. So So hopefully I can bring them in and do something here, and hopefully we can get these units into there. Okay, I guess that's going to be about it then. So there, movement there. We will get to build an IP. Oh no, that's in a town, isn't it? Yeah, that is in a town. Yeah, that's a, well, whether I'm moving the other unit, the bracketed unit up, or leaving it down there, that was seemed to be an awful long time I took to make that decision, but how relevant that is, I don't know. Okay, so that's the Allied Impulse over. So I'm just going to keep going here. So that's our last card. And the Germans have one more card. Just tidy that up. Right, let's go and see what they've got to do. Okay, so last card of the day, well, unless they get into a combat, of course, and it just becomes a command card no matter what, okay. Well, it's 80 core, fixed artillery. Okay, so yeah, going to activate 80 core. Okay, so activate 80 core. Infantry units here, 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 and here, and then we've got this armoured unit that popped out along here with that detachment placement, wasn't it? Okay, they've still got their core objective marker, so they're still going to abide by that at the minute. There's still an allied unit within 3. No roadblocks. The army objective needs to be reached, so that's not going to move. Core objective stays where it is. So we look at moving units for core objectives. Check an ascending order. So we'll check this unit first. He's already adjacent to his nearest target, nearest allied unit. Oh, now hold on, no, Grant, because this unit isn't within 3 of the core objective. Move each unit toward an allied unit within 3 hexes of the core objective marker. Oh, of course he popped. He popped out there from reserves, didn't he? Yeah, on the attack last time. Yeah, right. One thing I've been forgetting all about is any bridges. No, don't want to miss bridges. I look back at that situation earlier and wondered about bridges, but no. So in actual fact, he's going to want to come and get this guy, isn't he? Or this guy, but he can't get adjacent to him. But he can to him, which does mean he could go 1, 2, and then 3 back in here, though. So I think that's what he's going to do. Yeah. Because like I say, that one's not within 3 of the core objective. So breaking zone of control 2, then crossing and taking this bridge for 3 movement in there adjacent to that. And we will grab that bridge. Okay. Next is unit 3. That's the armoured unit down here. Well. Okay. Move each unit toward an allied unit within 3 hexes of the core objective. It seems kind of odd that he was placed away along here then, wasn't it? Did I do something wrong? Well, none of yous mentioned anything there. Because going by the core objective rules, he's wanting to now come back. He's not going to get very far really, because this is a zone of control, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Doesn't feel very such a great move for him, does it? Well, that's what the rules say. He's got to move towards either one of these two units because they're within 3 of the core objective, and get adjacent to it if he can. So he just wants to get as close as possible. So yeah, you can't do anything else, can it? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4. It's this hex or this hex. Well, this hex is going to be closer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will leave a detachment there. Yeah, doesn't look very clever, but I think that's what has to happen. The last 3 infantry units. So this is unit 5. He's already adjacent to a unit that's within 3, so he's going to stay put. And this guy's already adjacent to units within 3, so he's going to stay put as well. And they're both in empty hexes. They're not going to try and tactically adjust or anything. So yeah, I think that's it. So could be an attack on. Oh no, sorry, unit 7. Oh yeah, and this guy can move away now, can't he? Because we took Mersch. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I say we. I wish I was the Germans after that last couple of impulses. Okay. So can he move? Yeah, and he can't reach there anyway. So yeah, he's going to come in here. So let's just see. Is he breaking any restriction? Well, once we take Mersch, yeah, it was decided that we were going to ignore all these hexes. Cannot trace allied supply. Allied supply cannot come from any of the hexes to the east of Mersch. So, and supply can't be traced elsewhere. So yeah, that's good. Okay, so definitely going to be a consideration of an attack here, right? There was no reserves. There's no support card. So we're going to do a check on here. An attack determination check. That's the only. Well, hang on, Grant. Yeah, that's not technically true then, is it? So unit 2 is the lead unit. Well, he's going to be 2 against 3 coming across the river. He's going to be halved. He's going to get -1 for being low supply. So that's 2 against 3, so that's not going to happen. But I'm pretty sure this consideration is going to be better. So that's 5 strength. So he's got 5. So we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 against 5. He's getting a -1 for being a low supply. He's not adjacent to an allied supply unit. So it is only, he's going to lose a -1. So it's 10 against 4. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 against 4. So the odds are going to be 2 to 1. So yeah, I suppose it's not a given, is it? 2 to 1. There's no reserves. There's no assault coordination. Modifiers. Attackers include a wheat. No. It's not an army card. And there's no support cards. So it's 2 to 1 with no modifiers. So it does still need to be quite low, I think. Although they are flanking them and attacking from multiple hexes. So I'll just maybe die roll up here. Oh, it's a 1. Right. Well, that's a more than likely then, isn't it? No modifiers. Cancel only defender wheat or only defender armour. Oh, I think they've got armour, haven't they? So let me pan down again. I think they've got an armoured unit. They have. Look at that. Oh, that's harsh. We don't have armour. They're all infantry. Okay. Oh well, there you go. It's not going to happen. That was a shame. Right. No other chill. Wait a minute. Unit 2, Unit 3, Unit 5. Well, this has already been checked. Unit 6 could check here. It's unlikely, isn't it? 2 against. Well, I think it's maybe 1-to-1 odds actually, because he's in a forest, gets a +1, and low supply gets a -1. So it's 2 against 2. Yeah, but from 1 hex, I think this is. He is only infantry though, isn't he? Well, let's roll the dice and then we'll look some throw things about. Roll the dice first and we'll see. So 1-to-1 odds and no modifiers again. Oh, there's a 2. Cancel if less than 1.5-to-1 or defender in a non-VP town. Well, it is less than 1.5-to-1. It was bang on 1-to-1, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, maybe another time when they could have done my assault coordination again, but I think they got good use of that already. And that last impulse. Right, that's only checks to make. So we'll wind up the impulse with bounce back to reserves. No, they're all sitting in by themselves, and the only ones that didn't make a move or attack have already got IPs. So that is that. Okay, we have come to the end of the day, I believe. Yes. Okay, let's see if I can get this wrapped up and get this last part done. Not a nice finish to the day, was it? Unless you're supporting the Germans, of course. Okay, so first check on victory conditions. They have 37 victory points. They would need to have greater than 50 for us to get a strategic loss, but we would need less than 15 for a strategic win right now. And yeah, actually, well, I don't know. I mean, we are getting quite a few reserves the next couple of days. You know, it's more about us than them. We do get the 47 stuff. We are going to get the British units moving. Oh, but they're getting the OKW units, aren't they? Oh dear. I don't even know where they come in. Right. Okay, let's move on. Discard the hand, draw a pile. Yeah. Return combat chits to cup. I'll do that. Remove all dispersed and out of fuel markers from the map. I will do that also. And then we've got to check for detachments to get removed via 15.3. I'll go and do all that, maybe point out some removal of detachments if they're really relevant. I think quite a lot of them are going to come away, so I'll do that and get back to you. Yeah, that's me just finishing off checking detachments. This one, there was another one down here. I almost left it, but German supply wasn't traceable to it. So it's either or Allied or German supply can't be traced. This one's going to be the same. German supply is not going to be traceable to this one here, even though Allied supply is. So that's going to come away. So quite a lot came away. There's a couple in here that stayed. Allied supply is traceable up there. German supply. This one I thought not at first, but Allied supply can be traced down here, and German supply 1, 2, 3, 4. Houghton being the target. Which is necessary. I mean, we are going to catch. At least we are going to catch a few. Germans and low supply this time, but yeah. So I think that's them all. There's one down here that stayed as well. German supply is traceable 1, 2, 3 onto that road and up, and then Allied supply down. So I think there was only the 4 that I've hung about. Yeah, this is actually is German supply traceable with us then. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. Yeah, it is. There's issues with the bridges, but I'm pretty sure nobody's ever mentioned anything, and I'm generally careful about the bridges. You just kind of feel like some of these units must have crossed the bridges, but maybe not if they all come down this way, you know. Certainly nobody's picked me up on it, so we're going to have to leave that as is. Right, so that's it. Out of fuel markers, dispersed markers, detachment markers, advance the day marker on the calendar, and that's us. So on to the 23rd. Right, I'll wrap this up so I can hopefully get on the 23rd and see what we're going to do about this mess that we're in. Okay guys, I'll be back soon. Okay, cheers.